Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video I am going to be drawing a bunch of pumpkins. Gonna draw a bunch of different kinds of pumpkins. We're gonna start with just the pumpkin I draw almost every day, just a circular pumpkin. We'll go ahead and just add the details to it. We'll make it relatively undetailed because I've drawn this type of pumpkin so many times. I don't want to spend too long on just this specific round. Nothing special about a pumpkin. There we go. Give it a stem. And there's a beautiful pumpkin. It's not the best. But that's not why we're doing this today. We're going to draw some weird pumpkins. Like one like this. That's kind of like a squash, if you think about it. It's like a squash. Yeah, it's a squash. And how am I going to turn that into a pumpkin? I don't entirely know. But I mean, I'm pretty sure I've probably seen a pumpkin that looks like that. So we're just going to erase that. We're just going to set that there. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn this into a pumpkin. We're going to flatten that top out a little bit. We're going to go like this. And then bounce that bottom part a little bit. Go like that. There we go. That was a little bit of a messed up line right there, but that's fine. That looks decent. It's meant to look wonky, but it's not exactly how I wanted it to be. I could have added another set of lines in here. Maybe rounded these bits a little more evenly. I don't know. It's not perfect, not terrible. I'm gonna add eyes to this one because I always add eyes to the pumpkin, because the whole reason I draw pumpkins is because I have a character with a pumpkin on his head. And I want to draw his eyes. Now what should we do? Should we just do a really wide pumpkin? Just a really wide pumpkin. One kind of like this. Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and get it started with a piece in the middle like this. And then we'll draw some little bits that come out from it. Like this. And then like this. There we go. There we go. That looks pretty pumpkin-y, I think. It's not the most pumpkin-y pumpkin I've ever drawn. It's also not the most even, but I think it looks pretty good. It's not perfect. I probably should have put these little bendy points, made them a little sharper and point them down a little bit more, but I think it's not bad. We'll go ahead and give this a stem like that. And you know what, let's go ahead and give all these faces, just because, why not, right? We'll go ahead and give this one triangle eyes. This one's a little happy pumpkin. So make that one bigger. Do that. That's not exactly right, but that's fine. How are we going to draw the mouth for him? He doesn't have a mouth, so I don't need to worry about that, but for a mouth, there we go. There's a shitty looking but funny looking mouth. We'll go ahead and lightly shade those in. just so they have some color difference. Same with the stems. I'm gonna shade the stems in. Now we won't worry about doing a face on that one since we already didn't do a face on that one. But we'll go ahead and also, let's do a super skinny pumpkin too. Because that's kind of funny, right? I think it's kind of funny seeing like a super skinny pumpkin. I don't know if I've ever actually seen a pumpkin like this in real life though. Have I? I don't think so. I think I've only ever seen them in like drawings, and that's probably about it. Alright, grab a tiny eraser just to erase some of the excess things in here. Give this one, should we give it a really wide, short stem? Because he's a tall, skinny pumpkin. And what kind of face should we give him? What if we just give him like a little face like this? Just there we go. We got our, I don't know, kind of neutral-ish pumpkin. Now, what type of pumpkin should we try to do next? Should we try to do a pumpkin from a different perspective? Because I always struggle with drawing pumpkins from different perspectives, even though I draw this guy 1,000,000 times a day. I think we should. Or maybe let's just go right into drawing it in perspective. I was gonna say maybe I should try to draw one just showing the top a little bit first, like ease my way into perspective, but nah. Easing your way in is for chumps. We're just gonna jump right in. Pretend like we know what we're doing, when in reality, we haven't the foggiest idea. Now, what is this I am doing? I have no idea. I just said that. But we're gonna put a stem right here. Go ahead and just, I don't know, go like that. There's a stem or something. And we're gonna try to turn this into a pumpkin. Preferably a good-looking pumpkin, but you know, can't promise that. I can promise it won't be horrendous, and you should be able to tell that it is a pumpkin. Alright, I probably should have made that one a little more round, but you know, that's fine. It's not perfect. Whoopsies. Alright. What the hell am I doing right now? I did mess this up a little bit, didn't I? Should have bent these things in a little more to, like, sell the illusion a little better. I don't really like that one, because I definitely did mess it up. I could clean it up a little bit. Should we try? We're going to say no, because we're just going to move on to other pumpkins. We're still going to try to draw another one with the front showing, though. Because we can't accept that, can we? We have to do another one. Now, what should we do? How about we do another tall pumpkin? Let's go ahead and do it right under this one. But this one, we'll go ahead and show the top of the pumpkin. But to do that, we're going to need some perspective. So let's go ahead and get a decent amount of the pumpkin in here. And then we'll also draw the ones in the back. Alright. Looks like a little bit of a mess, but I can kind of tell what's going on here. We're going down here, making this a little skinnier. A little flat, but not too flat down here. Then go out here, and this actually should have went like that. And there we go. Now we should probably go like this. And these stems aren't the best, but I'm not really trying to make them the best. They should be a little more like rigid or something, but I don't feel like shaking my hand to get the lines to go rigid. Alright, then we got a tiny little part right here. There we go. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I'm so used to trying to make it smaller on the sides, totally forgot I was going for a perspective. I forgot that that's the whole reason I was doing this one. Alright, there we go. And that one is not that bad. Perfect? No. Amazing? No. Decent? Yes. Let's go ahead and give it a face like this. There we go. It's got a face. Alright, now let's go ahead and draw a little tiny pumpkin. Little tiny pumpkin. Most of the pumpkins I've been drawing have a centerpiece. So let's do this one where it doesn't really have a centerpiece. It's got an odd amount. And when drawing these, like more, I'm trying to go for more round pumpkins. I think it's a little better to like ball out the shapes first to try to see what it's gonna look like. I feel like that's helping me draw these a little bit better. Alright. And there's that. Not the perfect pumpkin, not the worst pumpkin. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring that down a little bit too. Now, what will this pumpkin's face be? Well, let's go ahead and erase some of that excess right here first. Okay, missed the majority of it. Whatever. Alright, this one should be really wide eyes. And then like this. Really wide eyes. And then like this. And then it's got a big ol' mouth. We gotta get rid of that. Go like this. Wow, he's a big ol' happy man. Except he's tiny, actually. I just remembered he's a tiny pumpkin. He's a little happy man. Wow. Alright, cool. Now we need to draw some more. Hold on, let me number these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That kind of looks like a B. 6 still looks like B. 7. I just want them numbered because I want to be able to pick out my favorite ones through numbers and not having to describe it. Alright, I've been avoiding this side of the page because I'm left-handed and I have to take my hand off the... Oh wait, hold on. Problem solved. But how should we do this one? Should we do a little bit of a funny shape? A little bit of a... not that steep, but a little bit of a little thingy, you know? A little thingy thing. There we go. There's a little bit of a shape, you know, just a little bit of a shape. All right, let's go ahead and let's try to put some circles in here. I don't know if this will really even work with a predetermined shape, but we're sure as hell gonna try. All right, that's not exactly how we're gonna want to do this. We're going to ignore the majority of our predetermined shapes. I don't know why I rolled that with my arm. We're gonna ignore the majority of those. Actually, not just the majority, all of them we're going to ignore. Actually, hold on, let me go like this. Then we'll go like this, and this. I want that to be rounder, but I don't feel like erasing it, so we're gonna leave it be. There we go. Now, what are we supposed to do? Let's go ahead and go like this. Go like that. Then we're gonna get the rest of this pumpkin in here. Go ahead and go like this. Got little bits of the pumpkin and just a little bit extra just to add a little bit more size to the pumpkin. Isn't it beautiful? No, it's wonky, but also it's kind of funny. Let's go ahead and give it a weird stem. Alright, go ahead and shade that little stem in. Now we need to give it a face. It needs to be an appropriate face for this. What's an appropriate face for something like this? I know. Tired eyes. There we go. Now let's go ahead and erase some of the bits that are intersecting with this. And also doing that made me realize I could go like this too to add a pupil in here. And now we have pupils in our tired eyes, which sell the eye even better. Perfect. It's not perfect, but I don't care. I think it's funny. I want to draw one with teeth. None of these guys really have teeth. Well, I guess he kind of has teeth, but not really. Let's go ahead and draw one with teeth. What type of pumpkin should we go for this time? Why not go for like another weirdly shaped one? I'm gonna try to just like come up with the shapes, cause like then I might be able to get something looking good beforehand or something. I don't know. Try to come up with the shapes. Bend it down a little bit because that's touching the ground. Maybe go like this. Maybe make this a little bit wider and more teardrop shaped, but also rounded at the top. And then go ahead and just add a bit right here to catch it. And then maybe just a small bit right here, just to add a little bit more size to this thing. Alright, hold on. Let's go ahead and erase that and try to make some of these lines smooth. Whoopsies. So that we can have an actual decent pumpkin shape. Even if it's a little wonky. I'm kind of pressing really hard with my pencil right now. That's not intentional. Alright. Add a little bit of that. A little bit of this. And a little bit of that. Not perfect, not terrible. What kind of stem should we add? Should we add a really wacky stem? Go like that. Add some leaves on it. I don't actually know what pumpkin leaves look like, so we're just going to kind of draw them as regular leaves, because I don't know what they look like. And then we're going to shade them in, because that's the thing we do with these. Now we're going to give it one big ol' eye right here. Shade that in fully. And then he's going to get one tiny little eye right here. And then he's got a mouth that's big ol' sized on here. And then little tiny sized right as soon as it reaches there. there we go. Here's our little pumpkin. You look silly. I like that one. Oh, I forgot to number them again. What is it? 7, 8, 9. We'll probably just draw one more pumpkin. What should we do? Should we just do like a square pumpkin? Should we do another silly pumpkin? Why not another silly pumpkin, right? Let's go ahead and try to fit a pumpkin in like an upside down triangle. We did the rights, we did a triangle that way. Why not flip it upside down? Try to do it that way, right? Let's try to fit this in here. This is gonna look real awkward, isn't it? Hopefully it looks real awkward and funny, and not just real awkward and bad. If it looks real awkward and bad, that is quite unfortunate for me. Because I don't want to end on a bad pumpkin, do I? I would have to draw another one. But I think it's looking pretty good so far, so I probably won't have to draw another one. Alright, let's go ahead and actually end that one there. Hold on, should I go ahead and give that a stem like that? I don't know. It's not really that big of a deal, the stem on this one. Should I add some 3D-ness to it? Just try to like... Well, if I do that, then I'm going to want to raise this one up to here. And we raise that to that, and that to that. Alright, yeah, sure, let's do that. This isn't nearly as wonky as I actually wanted it to be. I wanted it to be like misshapen, but it kind of really is just shaped like it is. Not really too misshapen, so maybe we'll add some misshapenness to it. Because what is the point of a wacky pumpkin if it's not actually wacky, right? Alright. There we go. And then add some bits there. There. And there we go. We got ourselves a wacky pumpkin with its stem. And we shall add a wacky eye here. A wacky eye there. Fill them in. And then for the mouth. There we go, we got a little squiggly mouth. Here we go, these are little pumpkins. This one's number 10. Alright, which ones are my favorite? I'm gonna have to say it's probably a split between these four. These four. Number 4, 6, 7, and 10. I do really like 9 also, and 2 I think is just a pretty good pumpkin. But I think I gotta give it to 7 or 4. Anyways, leave your favorite one in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.